Talk to me about content and dental websites.
So, content is immensely important for dental websites for a multitude of reasons. One, it tells your users, potential patients and current patients, who you are and what you do. But it doesn't just tell your patients and potential patients, it also tells search engines like Google who you are and what you have to offer people who have questions about certain dental.
So it's like your online dating profile.
That is the perfect way to describe it, Eric. Your website, if you are a dentist, your website is exactly like your online dating profile. Although I don't think the potential patients want to know about your pet's name and your favorite color. However, they
Pepper,
do want to know,
blue.
mm, thank you. However, they do want to know about your brand, your practice, who you are as a dentist, what you're passionate about, as well as they want to know the answers to questions they have about services. Before a patient meets you, the only way for them to know who you are is your website. So if you give them that information up front in your website and your online identity, then they're going to have trust for you from the get-go. They're going to see you as an authoritative figure who they can trust. And if they like what you're putting out there, then they're going to reach out.
Mhm. Now, what do you think are the top two, three, four elements that need to be on a homepage to deliver that trust?
So I think that a lot of people really underestimate the USP, which is the unique selling point. The thing is if you don't have a personality, no one's going to click on your online dating profile, right? If you don't have a brand, if nothing makes you stand out, then why would a potential patient choose you? So what's important to represent on your homepage is who you are. We can do this with visuals. Visuals are
Hmm.
incredibly important. The next most important thing is navigation and structure. We want to make it easy for those patients to, your homepage should tell a story. It starts at the beginning and it says, hey, this is who I am. You can use your hero banner to show that, as well as the next
Yeah.
text underneath the hero banner. And
As you talk about the visuals, as you talk about the visuals, I really go to, I think when I land on the dental website, and I think this ties into your story and your, values proposition and things, is I want to see a picture of the staff. And I don't think just the dentist. I think I really like to see the staff and preferably in the building I'm going to. I think that gives me confidence of, and I know we're not supposed to judge a book by a cover, but God bless us, we all do. I like knowing who I'm meeting and where I'm going. And I like the comfort it gives me of seeing that picture. Like I think you're spot on with the visual side. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it all, I'll tie it to choose you. Is someone really going to choose you if you don't have any photos? So organic content is immensely important on a website, on as many pages as you can have it. And that means pictures of the dentist, you, the dentist, your staff,
Mm-hmm.
as well as your realty. Especially, and this ties back into the USP, your unique selling point, what makes you different. So if you have a really beautiful office with awesome amenities, have great photos of that on your website. Show people what
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
makes you different. And one of those things could be that you have TVs, coffee machines, snacks, things like that.
Yeah. No. Interesting. Now, when you talk about unique value proposition, unique selling proposition, I feel like that is a very difficult word for a lay person or just, a normal dentist to understand. Like, what is a good, unique value proposition, or what does differentiate a dental office from another in, from a content perspective?
So that this is really important. And the biggest thing one of the biggest mistakes dentists make, and it's kind of a catch-22 because it's a good thing, but it's not. But dental practices love to use wording around we're like a family. We treat our patients
Mm,
like family. So that's one thing that plays into content and your USP and who you are. So yeah, that's one way when we talk about content and USP, we want to make sure that we have intent with what we're writing. We want
Hmm.
to make sure that we're telling a story, and that we're finding something truly unique about a practice to represent. And that doesn't just play into what makes them different. Like, say you have, I mean, it can be something as silly as you give your patients a cookie, a fresh baked cookie whenever they leave, and so your office smells like chocolate chip cookies. There's
It
little
can be
things.
you're the office that runs on time. It can be you're the office that brings the
Yeah,
best technology. It can bring you're the office that's going to give them. I know every dentist gives options. So again, I say you're the dentist that is going to give them options and co-manage their care. You're the dentist that, gives back to the community. I think there are so many basic, easy things that separate you.
yeah.
Not we treat you like family. Everybody loves us to,
Hmm.
to really sell that on the homepage. I think that is definitely gives you something different to talk about than, just raising your hand and saying, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I really I encourage our clients to push and find what that differentiating factor is, because it's so important. It's the reason why, I mean, business is all about niche. You can't just target every single type of patient. And while it might be broader at some practices than others, um, your luck in getting a niche patient in is a right patient and someone who's going to stick around. So attract them with who you really are, what really makes you different, and that's why they're going to love you and stay loyal to you. So the next most important thing, when it comes to content is about the representation of what you do. So that also plays into getting users to your site. So your website can be beautiful, but
Mhm.
we have to have quality content and we have to have a good amount of content. So quality and quantity play in here, for Google to pick your site up. So what we want to do is we want to start with the basic service pages. This is really important for SEO, for telling Google who you are and what you do. We want to make sure those basic service pages each have their own page that answer users' questions. So if someone's interested in teeth whitening, they're going to be asking questions around teeth whitening. So what we do is keyword research to figure out what those questions are, and then we make sure to incorporate them on each of those individual service pages.
It reminds me, I think content's like a tree, and it starts with the homepage being being the trunk. And then as we get out to the pages, we get more detail and more detail. At the end, it kind of blooms into this
Mm-hmm.
beautiful story.
Flowers, yeah. Eric, you use another incredible example there. That is a great way for us to look at content on a website. So without the basics, without the trunk, we don't have the strength. We don't have a starting position, right? So that's why we start with the basics. We need to have a page for every service. And then what we want to do from there is we want to tell Google, hey, I have way more answers to
Mhm.
questions than the guy down the road, right? So then we want to branch out on that content. We want to take our services and go up a notch. We want to grow a flower on each branch for each of
Yeah.
those service pages. And how we do that is we look into more of the specific questions that users are asking on search engines. Like, let me give you an example. Dental implants.
Mhm.
So from our basic service page, one of the next most searched queries around dental implants is dental implants for seniors. People that have reached a certain age want to know if they are still a candidate for dental implants. So what we would do is we would write an optimized service page that branches out from dental implants on dental implants for seniors. And now we've told Google, hey, we've got all the answers. Send the users to our site.
Yeah. I do think that the days of having just a dental implant page or even a page that talks about tooth replacement are very dated. we've seen the rise of long tail keywords. Specifically, I think 10 years ago it was like dental implants near me. And I think with the Alexis and with the Googles and with voice, voice to text and the gains we've made in technology, as well as just everyone's comfort level, we're now searching for dental implants in 68-year-old female with diabetes, dental implants in 68-year-old female with, some bone loss. Like, I lost my tooth 10 years ago. Can I still get it replaced? Like, we have seen the rise of these very long keywords over the past 3 or 4 years, just at a massive level. And I think that the old style of just having a dental implants page are very dated now because of these long tail keywords. And Google is trying to serve the most relevant content to the most relevant people. And I love the approach of trying to answer more of those questions on our sites. And, I think you guys have done amazing because we have seen a huge increase in traffic year over year to our sites by this approach. So it's really worked out well.
Yeah. I mean, SEO is constantly changing, as are the algorithms on Google. And one of the things we do to make sure we stay up to date is we reevaluate our strategy every quarter. And what we've seen quarter over quarter is how valuable content is. Content is king. And that's why we're working on a strategy to just branch out on that content and essentially tell Google, hey, you can trust us and we've got the answers that users are looking for.
And it's great as always. It's wonderful to have you. I love your approach to content, and you just sound wicked smart. So thanks for
Eric.
jumping on. And that's your Bite of Dental Marketing.